Tonight's Fable takes place on the outskirts of the sunken castle. Naraya, the northern moon, slowly rises into the sky. The Nandor green light emanates as it reaches its highest point. With some time left, the party knows that an assault is afoot. A three-pronged effort has been enacted to try to stop Captain Skecrek and his undead army from assaulting the Desert Dogs, loyal allies of fellow members of the party. As Naraya continues its ascent, there's some time left. Two of the prongs has been another fable, and tonight we're focusing in on the skeletal diplomats. Figures that were saved, salvaged, found, rescued within the lost citadel back at Arventa. And today, two figures walk along the Balsalt deserts, rising up to the front entrance of this sunken castle. Mark, go ahead. Give us a description of your character. What do we see as the two skeletons walk alongside our two figures in tonight's fable?
So, one of the characters, a little bit older, a little bit bent over, just kind of ambling along. Vegetation, furs, essentially whatever you can scavenge, just almost falling off of him. It kind of arranged maybe in some simple way, but not with any real organization. He ambles along with a quaint smile on his face, as if everything is going to be all right. Folks, I introduce you to Mikana, half-orc shaman, newly joined at the 214 after encountering them during the unlock, and in pursuit of the healing power that the 214 have unleashed on the Beastman, has seen fit to join with them in the hopes that he can continue his mission of bringing that kind of wellness to others, and to therefore also advance the 214's mission of bringing service and bringing love to others in whatever ways he knows how.
Imbued with the powers of this ancient worship of Geed learned from the Beastmasters, you've been conversing with one of the skeletal diplomats as well. You're also adjourned on tonight's Fable quest mission tonight by this strange new character. Brandon, go ahead, give us a description of what we see.
Against the swirling desert sands, loping, gangly, scarred, patchy fur, a gnoll walks alongside the skeletal diplomats. At his side, a chest-high hyena looking equally haggard. This is Torgak of the Desert Dogs, the gnoll who was rescued alongside Calazian by Hilarious and Jagged Edge during their first real foray into the sunken castle. Vengeance is in his heart as he drools at the prospect of getting these undead usurpers between his sharp fangs as they walk towards the sunken castle.
Mikana looks at Torgak and says, has it ever occurred to you to maybe put some happy water on those patches?
The pain keeps me moving.
I don't quite understand that, but I'll take your word for it.
They are in our ancestral home. reveal what they did to me, and to return it to them tenfold.
And at this, he pulls aside some of the rags that he is wearing and shows a nasty barbed weapon hanging on the side. A scimitar hangs off the other side of the belt, and he's also carrying a long pike as they make their way through the desert sands.
Why have 3 weapons? You've only got 2 hands.
The more weapons, the better.
As you approach the sunken castle, maybe we'll learn more about Torgak's childhood and about Mikana's hope for the future with your luck tokens. These represent your character's luck, obviously. Their fate of the future is in your hand to re-roll any of these as well. You also have the power of the Aurus in all of these things. And as you approach the sunken castle, and before you, the power brick on top of the roof just seems to pulsate with a waning energy, as if it's dwindling in strength, and the castle itself just is withering underneath the light of this northern moon. And there's quite a strange activity today, as the undead see a gnoll, the very ones that they hold and subjugate and bring in within their fortress, associating with these 2 skeletal diplomats, figures that they haven't seen in a long time. And as you approach, I imagine cloaks and figures and sort of walking up to this giant castle front entrance, you can sort of feel you're about to walk into some heavy situation. Tonight's adventure is going to be a little bit different as we represent the light of the northern moon as it reaches its apex. We'll see this candle here representing the apex of the moon. Should the blood of the eyes pour out of the skeleton, Naraya, the northern moon, has reached its fullest apex. What will happen? Well, we'll have to tune in to find out, but you know time is of the essence. Maybe it'll happen today. Maybe it'll happen in our next fable as we reach a growing climax of pressure as the final prong of this attack is underway. So we'll keep an eye on this guy back here. Throughout your whole time with these skeletal diplomats, you have garnered, and they're quite interesting as they communicate with one another, totally different from the wall. They use just signs. They have a different unspoken sort of communication, but they try to muster as best as they can, being skeletons, to communicate with you. But you've determined that the skeletal diplomats have been dealing with the Gruthiel, the metal that this whole castle has been this whole sunken castle has been excavating. And their whole diplomatic mission was to seek a supply line. And they even allude to something even more should the diplomacy go within your favor. They're looking, and they have been looking for who knows how long, to create another leg of their supply line, presumably to Arventa. And you happen to come across them and free them and all that in a previous fable. And tonight you enter into the sunken castle with its large, big stone doors. You're greeted by armed undead soldiers who immediately try to capture, pursue, and restrain Torgak, but are held off immediately at bay when they see the skeletons. What do you guys do?
So the skeleton diplomats are, we're being granted entry as of this point, even though there's some suspicion or obvious hostility towards Torgak.
Yeah, immediately they see Torgak coming in. They're like, "Great, we have more work, more labor," and they recognize the skeletons have been missing for who knows how long, and flanked by another half-orc creature. Things are a little bit out of the ordinary here, and the boldness to just come right to the front gates.
Torgak recognizes that there's something about these diplomats that is currently keeping him from being met with hostile action. And so, looking begrudgingly subservient, will fall back and allow the skeletons to proceed before himself and Cag, his hyena.
Meanwhile, Mikana will walk alongside the skeletons, frankly quite amused and quite pleased with everything. It's like they rolled out the red carpet for the healing powers of Geed. Oh man. You guys really know what you're doing, don't you?
The skeleton, they all. I see that they're just like not ready to accept what you're saying.
Okay. I get that that takes some time, but from what I've been told, Geed is patient.
You can see they start conversing.
Who needs a fixing?
And the skeletal diplomats kind of like just take a couple steps forward and finally return back to the castle that they've been trying to deal with for some time, bringing 2 escorts with them. Walking into the sunken castle, you are reminded of the reconnaissance that the rest of the team has brought to you in a previous excursion into the castle. Within the sunken castle, there is a large vault. A vault that needs to be unlocked. Amongst all the rooms on this first and second lower levels of sorts, you know that the vault can be interacted with if you were to find the right locks and keys in the respective rooms. Essentially, tonight, a negotiation will go down between your diplomatic efforts, while also a subterfuge of a heist is going down as well, too. So the skeletons will bring you through this whole complex, and immediately you can tell that there's a lot of stress within this castle. The lights are very dark. Both gnolls and undead do not need any light to work, and just the whole ambiance of this castle just is rife with just stress and pain and suffering within this whole complex. Various aspects of the castle exist, and then there's a giant center hole opening, as if the power brick above you were to be removed, it would have this chasm completely down into the depths for who knows how long. And within the various aspects of the side rooms, you can feel aspects of the castle. You know, there's a library, a barracks, a lab. Some of these rooms you've heard about in your previous team's reconnaissance. Especially the sacrifice room, where a showdown with Captain Skecrek went down. Some of these rooms haven't been explored. The crystal growing room is one of them, and the observatory is another. So you can imagine you guys have been walking in with these skeletons, and you're immediately met by other zombies that check you at the door. And you can see they're all missing their eyes. And scattered throughout the walls of the castle and the mining facility of the Gruthiel vein that goes deeper within, there's eyeballs just littering the walls, like placed in little alcoves, placed in a corner, placed in a recess. And this was not pointed out to you at all from your last compatriots that were here.
Are they moving at all?
The eyes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pupils are moving around and stuff.
Okay.
What do you do?
Where do you think we should be going? This place is huge. And I don't know where to start fixing things.
I have never made it this far.
Is it a good thing? This entire thing just... it makes me real sad.
I feel the pain of my people here.
Can I sniff any keys or anything related to this vault?
You catch a whiff of something, and it draws your memory back, but you don't have a potent enough draw of it. But it stimulates something deep within your mind. But the vault, which is, as was given to you as information last time, relatively in the open in terms of like the actual door, but the way it's set up with this lock and key mechanism, it just looks like ornaments on a wall. In each of these rooms, presumably, are the actual physical locks themselves that will unlock each of the tumblers of the door itself. So by exploring each of the rooms, you're gonna have to find the tumbler, engage with it, and we'll get to that later, and figure out the lock and key mechanism. All while, and just so happens that the zombies bring you in and they come with us, and they start taking the skeletons and you both towards an inner chamber deep within the barracks.
Your hospitality is greatly appreciated.
Where we live to serve the master, Captain Skecrek. And you can see they're taking you to his inner chamber within the barracks. You are with our diplomats, and for that we'll grant you entrance to our castle. Not many of those that breathe are welcome here, besides the ones that work for us, and they're like, look at you, and like some of them, like when you enter the barracks, start going after you, but the other ones like hold them at bay, and it's just in such a way that like you are unrecognized. You to them that they don't recognize a gnoll between a gnoll,
sure.
And you are a face that hasn't ever been here before.
Are there other gnolls about working? Or...
Especially down in the middle section, the vein, which is like, this castle complex seems like to have multiple layers as it's submerged within the sand, and there's just a giant open central chamber with bridges and outcroppings that are completely being worked on by gnolls, but they're some distance away and definitely under the thumb of all of these undead soldiers.
All right.
And as you walk into the barracks, some of the eyes just turn and like look at you guys. And there, and you go for it.
As we're walking along, if there is a nearby gnoll or group of gnolls, Torgak would like to try and slip into their midst with Gak.
Okay, are there gnolls nearby? I'm gonna roll this with disadvantage. Do a nice oracle roll here. Are there gnolls nearby? Disadvantage. So, 6, no. There are no gnolls nearby.
Nobody
Nope.
nearby?
No one nearby, no one knowing where you are. If you wanted, you could try to break away from all this, but you guys have a decision here. Do you want to continue to follow the skeletons into the barracks and themselves to meet Captain Skecrek, or as honored guests continue to look around the castle? Who knows how long that will last and for what purpose? Perhaps you guys could split up if you wanted to. I'm not gonna give you all the ideas, but
I pull Torgak aside and I say, if we talk to the head honcho, maybe he'll just let them all go.
Torgak whistles at this, but There's a little bit of a, lowers his muzzle a little bit and then gestures his compliance to this plan.
And if he doesn't let him go, well, maybe we got some fixing to do. We follow him.
Sure, okay. You'd be quite overwhelmed in this barracks with the captain and the
Oh, it is a
undead.
live barracks.
Oh yeah,
I see,
yeah.
I
Like
see.
this is an active castle, and like you guys to even be here without them immediately jumping you guys, especially a gnoll, is remarkable. And it's the skeletal diplomats that you guys have brought here that totally changed the dynamics, and the skeletons and what you worked out. They're willing to actually engage you guys. So yeah, you could totally go right up and talk to Captain Skecrek, but know that there's skeletons and zombies and who knows what else, like keeping guard within this castle. Now, if you were to break off and have a moment alone in a corner with a couple guards, yeah, no one's gonna notice if there's a scuffle or a tuffle, but you're heading right into the lion's den.
Well, I approach one of our hospitable guardsmen and I say, would it be possible to arrange a private session with your captain?
We're taking you there now. If you would like a moment to gather your plans for the negotiations, you're more than ready, willing, and able to use one of our rooms.
But I'd love to meet him out here amongst all the people that are hurt and broken and help him assess how I can be of service.
I will make it happen. No one's hurt and broken here.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe if we can find a way to improve the lives of the people here, maybe we can further your cause.
You speak words that mean nothing to me. That is what the captain is for. And he brings you to this large, armored, one eye glowing, and pieces of his face rotting off. And you've only heard about this figure before, but to actually see him up close, you can definitely feel intimidated by the fact that this armored captain just towers above any of the skeletons, any of the zombies that you see here. And just having his presence there, it seems like his armor and his sword that sits at his side is imbue like briars into his bones, presumably skin at one point, that has just been slowly peeling away.
Torgak holds his hyena at bay.
Yeah, Captain Skecrek looks over you guys and then sees Torgak, and is like, with one good glowing eye, is kind of like widens. What is the meaning of this?
My name is Mikana of the 214th Field out of Arventa on behalf of our goddess Geed. It is a pleasure to meet you. Shakes his hand very vigorously.
You put your hand out, but he doesn't grab it at all.
I grab at his wrist and I shake it.
You grab his wrist.
Yeah.
Just you can feel the strength of his bones itself just are like metal rods that just refuse to move, and he takes his other arm and just shoves you back violently.
No hostile actions whatsoever.
I assure you, sir, my actions are not hostile. I come in peace.
You don't look like peace to me. If it wasn't for our two diplomats, Vogel and Gott, we would not be even dealing with you.
And he just looks at them and just starts communicating. And the skeleton start communicating back and forth.
My friend, do you see a weapon anywhere on my body?
That means nothing to me. I don't take a risk whatsoever. These things I have learned over countless decades. It has served me well.
well, maybe we can free you of your crippling insecurities. Now, this is my associate, Torgak.
You expect to deal with me with this as your associate? I thought he was here to carry your gear.
As disgusted as I am by your presence and stench, I understand. Gruthiel is what you seek.
Gruthiel is what we mine. We supply the area of all the powerful metal that is Gruthiel. We have been dealing with it for, my memory is not deep enough to remember how long we've been mining this vein of Gruthiel. And now with our diplomats returning, we can finally set up an agreement with Arventa, was it? Our maps don't even keep track of the names of the surrounding lands.
You would spread this poison across the land.
You say poison, I say flowing rivers of life. You can see like his sword just like slowly like clenches into his like side and like his eye kind of glares just a little bit more.
Pray tell, what kind of life does it bring?
The one that has ultimate power. The Gruthiel is an amplifier of the best feeling. The feeling of agony, of pain, and torment. And we look to supply those that understand its power. And you, folk, have been the ones extracting it. I'm surprised you even managed to link up with our two negotiators here, Vok and Got. And they tell me that they have been in your village, town, city, whatever size it is, for quite some time. They've lost track. You are very patient folk.
And we are happy to have them in our midst. Mr. Skecrek?
Skecrek. You could call me Captain.
Mr. Cap.
This one I can deal with. This one I'll tolerate. Shall we get down to business? There could be two ways this goes. Well, three if you wanna see the end of a sword.
I live to prevent others from seeing that sword and to have it put back in their sheaths.
I do not. Proceed.
Well, as honored guests, and I use that term very lightly here, especially with the crowds that be, I must respect the process, and if our diplomats come by with fellow diplomats from a far-off civilization, a far-off outpost, a far-off source of Gruthiel, or a site that will accept Gruthiel, I will do the diligence of following the process of diplomacy that has been put on the shelf for quite some time. Of course, I would love to show you the grounds here to show you our facility of what we're dealing with. You, if you've been around, you may have seen fellow of your kind working diligently. If I knew there were more of your kind out in the black desert sands, I would have done my best to send out an enclave and an envoy to come and work here.
Now, my question is, what's in it for you if you send this elixir of power, pain, and suffering to us?
It was our original operating directive. The power that we mine and spread throughout the land is relative to our strength here in the castle. Whatever the Gruthiel is used for, we recognize it as a source of strength for this place.
So, it all goes back to you guys in some way, shape, or form.
All the Gruthiel is linked. And the more that it
invigorates and stimulates and leverages those feelings, the better and more powerful our army can become. It's a simple fact, but those that use it gain their own strength as well. And they tell me it's a feeling of agony, but that is beyond me and beyond my care and concern.
You say, directive. Who leads your pack?
His name is not of a matter that we recall, but since coming here, we made deals with someone whose name has been enshrouded in fog, someone deep within our own castle, Perivas.
This name is known to us.
How unfortunate. He's been a thorn in our side, and we've been dealing with him for, again, countless millennia. Our original Baron sent us here to find a powerful source of anything. We have found that source, and we've been trying to make contact with our Baron back in our homelands. And we haven't been able to get back home. And we've made a solid foothold here for many moons. And you can see he looks out the window. Naraya is almost at its peak.
Yes. And as we talk, the pack leaders, what of Vazoon?
What of this name?
One of my kind. One eye like you, the other scarred.
Are you from this village that lives outside our castle, or are you from this Arventa?
At times, both.
You travel between two lands.
I have.
And he makes valuable contributions in ours.
Well, I dare not. That is unrelated to our negotiations here. What is that name to you means nothing to me at the moment. Shall we get down to business? Are you ones to deal here in the barracks, or shall we follow the protocol? We'd like to usually handle our business at the library, but we want to show you all of our facilities so you know exactly what you're dealing with.
In my opinion, before we get to that, I think I'd like to have a word in private with my associate.
As is protocol, you are welcome to see our facilities, and we can supply you with somewhat of a private room, as private as you're willing to accept. You make the choice. The observatory, the library.
Having seen the facility, which of those rooms essentially gives us as much of an out as possible?
As much as an out?
Yes, like if we had to, like, scram really quick.
Yeah, that'd be tough to do. There are many ways in and out of here, secret or otherwise. There's a broken crack in the ceiling that you've been made note of. There's the side entrance with this glowing triangle door, but it's magic and it leads outside just the cliff's edge. And then there's the back entrance that Torgak was saved at, and then the front entrance you came in. But those are obviously under like the control of the army. There's no just little door that you can slip through. It's possible. All that to say is they're all relatively near an exit.
They're all relatively near an exit. Which one has the least population of guards?
The library.
Library. Torgak, would you mind joining me in the library?
I like the smell of books.
I think we could be good friends. We'll have to explore this when we're not on official business. So, I take Torgak into the library, I close the door, and
You can see that the library is like riddled with books and scrolls that just are smell of stench and mildew, like they've been sitting for decades, centuries.
Am I able to identify any other parties that might be listening, or any opportune ways that folks could listen if they wanted to?
Aside from the floating, the eyeballs that you've seen throughout the hallways and everything, there's no eyeballs in here. But
Okay. Torgak, I've been wanting to ask, what do you figure our approach should be? Because I hope you understand that I'm looking to end the pain and suffering that these folks speak so proudly of.
The pack urges discretion. Let's see what we can see. Let's take this tour and map out the area for our compatriots and packmates.
I agree, but I would like to extend that strategy even further.
What do you mean?
I would like for them to think that we are well and truly their compatriots.
Befriends them?
If only so we can see the innermost parts and vulnerabilities of their site and of their operation and of their military. And I understand that patience will be difficult to come by, but we seek the same cause.
Well then. Lead the way.
Your faith in me is appreciated and will be treasured as I treasure my own. Be strong.
Go.
We exit the library.
so what you both do?
Well, I certainly do. I can't speak for Torgak.
Torgak will exit the library, subtly leave that door open.
And what are you guys gonna do about the vault? What are you guys trying to do in terms of the negotiations and the vault?
So, with the vault,
In each of these rooms, you know that there's potential locks and tumblers to open the vault with.
Well, long term, let's take the tour.
yes.
As we're taking this tour, stopping into each of these rooms, let's see if we're able to identify and or manipulate these objects. So as we're, perhaps prior to actually exiting the library, Torgak's going to give a little bit of a sniff here and see if he can sniff a mechanism, metal, arcane, anything that stands out in stark contrast to this mildewed tome of knowledge.
Yeah, so it's like you're smelling a scent of a trail that leads you through the history and culture of your tribe that once was here long ago. Oh, it's almost like on a mythical sense, where you find a poem, a passage, an illustration, a tome, like, oh, this book, and then like it leads to that book, and like, oh, this page in this chapter, like you start to piece together. If you were to interact with it, if you wanted to take some time, you feel that it might lead you to the tumbler, but it would take some time, and that would be a decision you guys would have to make.
Interesting. I also hope that what I'm getting at with the whole kind of
And that's just the library.
It's just the
Yeah.
library.
I'm hoping that maybe if we can get them to, if we can lull them into a sense of security, maybe they'll reveal their secrets without us having to dig too hard. So maybe they can assist us in getting what we want anyways. I mean, long shot, but that's about the only thing that Mikana has in his inventory in terms of potential problem solving and solutions. There's no harm in just asking. And it doesn't mean that we can't do the other things too.
Okay. For the library, buy me a moment.
Of course.
Tell them I'm scratching or something.
I will tell them you have the biggest itch that one could ever fathom, clawing out the back with your nail-like claws.
With this limited time, doing a little investigation.
Sure,
along
okay.
the lines you just mentioned.
And
Yes.
meanwhile, I'm like, Mr. Captain, we would be honored if you would take us on a tour of your facilities, and if we could find some way for either of us to be of service.
So Captain Skecrek approaches you and, yes, we will do our best. You've caught us at such a very unique time. Naraya, the northern moon, is almost at the zenith, and for that we prepare a very, very special assault. And my men and my soldiers are working to organize themselves. So we must make haste amongst this tour, as you can see, that we are working diligently, but our focuses are lying elsewhere. So come with me.
I will.
Okay.
And I mean, your assault against these noble folk?
What our target is irrelevant to the negotiations.
I understand. Just let me know if I can be of help in those assaults.
Okay, so as you're going back and forth, Torgak is working for 10 minutes to find these words in a word search. As he's sniffing out the passageway in the library.
Oh no, a gnoll's worst enemy, literacy.
So you're walking with Captain Skecrek, going through the facilities from the library back to the barracks. And you can see that there's an organization of skeletons and zombies and these floating spectral figures that like transform into little orbs and just start lining the doors. As you enter, this next room, the laboratory, you get a sense of a chill, like these things are protecting the doors, and if any living thing comes through, they just kind of irradiate a aspect of cold.
Please clarify, which particular things are we talking about? The spectral orbs?
The spectral orbs, yeah.
Spectral orbs. This place must be great for storing food.
We've had to put up more security measures since we've had a recent breach. I will tell you up front that our facility has been impenetrable for centuries.
I can see that, but do you think that thing can make me a frosty ale? It's been a long trip.
That is something I don't have any knowledge about.
Understood. Now, this laboratory, what are you using this for? I assume it has something to do with the Guthriel.
We like to potentially refine a lot of our metals, and you can see that there's actually like a chalkboard with a formula that hasn't been solved. And it's in a hand and a script that you recognize being related to old ancient Gede texts that are lost to the sands of time. This is just something you notice, like, subtly. And the way they work the lab, it's almost like they've ignored this formula with it in the lab itself.
Oh, Lord my God. Now that right there, that, good sir, is praiseworthy.
And he's like, a lot of these things have been here since we first gained control of this place to begin our mining operations. We've paid no need or attention to those that haven't served us. Shall we continue on our tour? You know that the gems that surround this formula are blue.
Blue gems. Am I able to make
Related to the blue locks.
Interesting. Am I able to make sense of the formula and what it says specifically, or what it's asking for, what it references?
You would need some time with it, and being on a tour, it might not be the best of situations, but you know that you might be the one to solve it.
Your research intrigues me. Would you mind if we lingered here a while and explain to me what's going on here and what kind of refinements are taking place?
There is no time for such matters if you'd like to continue the tour. Otherwise, we can begin negotiations immediately.
Well, if you'll permit me just a moment, is there parchment or pen or pencil or anything in reach?
You'd have to come back and manipulate it.
I couldn't record this on my own and take it away with me.
Yes, you can, but you won't be able to solve it in that way. You have to physically manipulate pieces of it. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's like a physical, almost
like a sliding puzzle, like putting things into place, like certain things are missing.
I'll tell you what. Would it be possible for me to spend a little bit of time here, and in return, I will treat one of your workers and show you ways that I can improve what you do here, make them more capable.
You can have the time here. I will return back to your compatriot at the library and continue the tour with him, as much as I would hesitate to. So take your time as much as you'd like. And he starts heading out to go back to the library.
Well,
he's gone. You hear some scuffling at the library. Torgak! These things amuse you. I can show you far better work, deeper within our veins.
What kind of work?
Come with me and I'll show you.
These books are fine.
You know that they're like crumbling. And should you lose the time, you might not be able to completely find the track to the lock. Why do you rather stay here?
There are memories of my people here.
That tickles me, and that's something I haven't quite truly felt. Do you want to continue negotiations or not, or I can call my men in here to bring you down to the mines as a non-diplomat?
Am I able to hear any of this situation?
No, it's a completely different room. You can start solving the thing if you'd like.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Torgak glances into the corner of the room where his hyena is curled up.
Okay, yep.
Looks defeated, lowers his head subserviently, and says,
I will go. Send your men. Bring me to the mines. With the rest of my people.
You give up negotiations so easily, and you're willing to give up everything. That is fine with me. More men for more help for the extraction of the Gruthiel.
Give me a moment. Send your men. Continue discussions with my packmates. He does not deserve to go into the mines.
Shall I show you more of our facilities then, as a negotiator? Or are you that much focused on your history? I mean, some of the books that you're looking at just turns them to ash.
Allow me to stay with my history. Send your men when you must.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, at the laboratory, so what you're gonna do, Mark? Let me just make sure this is all. We have a set of dice here. And what I would like you to do to solve this puzzle, next to the blue lock here, you're going to stack dice. 20, 12, 10, 8, 6, and 4. You need a minimum of 4 dice to unlock it, but should you increase it higher than 4, will increase the cache of the vault, how much treasure is actually in there. And if you can see here, the vault has, seems like 5 tumblers that need to be unlocked, but 2 are blue and 2 are purple.
Now here's my question. Do they have to be stacked in the order that you described them?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
So you're gonna go.
And this one here, right?
Yep. So meanwhile, in the back in the library, you can see that two zombies.
The captain gave us word that you'd like to work in the bar. He's like,
figures, and the two zombies start coming out, like trying to restrain you.
Torgak is going to move towards the back of the room, away from the door.
Okay.
And in doing so, will lock eyes with his hyena and gesture for the hyena to shut the door behind the zombies.
Okay. And the hyena shuts the doors.
All right. Back of the room. Zombies are approaching.
2 zombies.
How far away are they?
Close enough. What do you need?
Shing! Scimitar out, charge the nearest zombie.
Go for it. All right.
It's going to be a 9.
You hit it.
These zombies are lurching and very slow.
All right, so that's going to be 1d6 plus 1 and double damage for the charge.
Wow.
So 3, 4, 8.
8 damage. You cut through it, and it's half of it is still standing.
You guys always put up a fight.
Anything else? Did your hyena do anything?
that is, yeah, if the hyena's got an action, then the hyena's gonna charge and attack the other zombie.
All right, go for it.
All right.
The other one.
Yeah, the one that's not.
Not almost gone.
Yeah. That's going to be a 19 base.
You hit it. This thing is clawing at it, biting at it with its sharp teeth and swinging it around.
That's gonna be 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage.
These zombies were all.
You can see that they start lumbering after you. One of them tries to slam into you for 15 AC. Oh man, this thing, they're both gonna try to come after you. 2, 3s, and 9s. So they're just arms lumbering up against you. You guys are up. What do you do?
All right. So regular attack and regular attack. I'll roll them at the same time here.
You feel a surge as you have rushed these guys, bringing your ancestral memory to light again.
All right, so 14 for Torgak and a 1 for the hyena.
Okay. Does something bad happen? 11. No, but... No, but what?
No, but nothing good does.
Nice. All right, so you are attacking these guys. Yeah, go for it. This is for you.
That's going to be 2 points of damage.
Against the... Okay. This thing's literally on its last leg. It's the last leg bouncing around. These things try to come after you again. 1 hits, dealing 4 damage.
As it bumps up against you. This one has the strength and vigor of something we've never seen before.
All right, you guys are up again. You guys are...
Yep, so that's going to be a 12 for Torgak and a 16 for the
Great, both hit.
So Torgak first.
Is this magical?
No,
Is it regular attack? Okay.
regular attack. Yep, that's 4 points of damage with the scimitar.
You cut it down and it slumps down to the ground, but it has a relentless ability. If it's not a magical source, 15 con, or it goes to 1 HP instead. So it slumps down and just immediately gets back up, rolling a 16.
All right, well,
So it's at 1 hit point. You've killed it.
hyena.
Hyena, yep.
Yep. 5
5 damage.
for the hyena.
Okay, similarly, it's just gonna go down, 15 or higher, rolls a 12, plus 2, so 14. It takes the zombie down to the ground, and the zombie just gets torn apart by the hyena's teeth and claws, and this last one's like trying to like claw its way to the doors. Let's see, is it gonna open the doors? It's gonna need a 15 or higher, strength plus 2, it needs to roll a 13. Does he open the door? 3, 5. He does not open the door. The last zombie is just holding on to what last elements of unlife. Your move.
Yeah, let's put that thing out of its misery.
Go for it. Roll an attack, and if you hit it, it's dead. Got AC.
Torgak is a 1, hyena's a 16.
Oh my god. Torgak's a 1.
Torgak's a 1.
Does something bad happen? 15. Yes, but... Say a piece of inventory is destroyed.
Okay, my choice or roll for it?
How much do you have, stuff do you have?
I've got 12 slots.
12, D12, here we go. Ooh, it's gonna be nasty. 1.
Leather armor.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Your AC is what now?
Yeah, it's only 14, so it's 14. It's 14 now.
It's 14, yeah.
Yeah, lost a 1.
So I guess as you're trying to attack, pieces of leather armor just fall apart into shreds. Okay, so you've nullified this. Your time has run out. Have you secured all the words?
No, I have 3 left.
Okay, fine. So you are going to stack your dice here, but you're gonna use, instead of the 12, 8, and 10, you're gonna use the 3 D20s. So we're getting rid of the 10, 8, and 6. No, 12, 10, and 8. So then you have the 6 and the 4. What am I missing here? 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 6, 4, right? 1, 2.
Well, there's 7 in a regular set of polyhedrons, so we've got 5 there with replacements.
Oh, it's because it's a regular. I need another D20, that's why. Okay. So your time has run out. The books of your knowledge, you've gained an immense amount of your old Pax tribes' history and culture and lost knowledge, but unfortunately the pieces have fallen apart. And so it's going to hamper you manipulating your blue lock. It happens to be another blue lock. So you will stack this dice next to this blue lock. You need at least 4, but should you add more, it'll increase the overall haul of the vault's contents. Okay. The white gem starts to glow. Go ahead, try again. Meanwhile, back at the lab here, you have worked the formula of Geed immensely. You've gotten unbelievable knowledge, something about your character's wisdom. Oh, you have to go highest to lowest.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta go in order. Yeah, you gotta go 20, 12, 10, 8, 6. Yeah. Sorry, I won't count that as a failure, but yeah. So the harder ones just got harder because you failed, so now you only have D20s now. As you're working the lock, the formula of Geed.
Formula of Geed appears to me.
And the blue gem unlocks Kakunk?
Is anyone else witness to this event?
No. But Captain Skecrek returns. So tell me, how have you made our refining process better?
The refining process has been improved by way of making the quality of life of your subordinates better. Make them more powerful. Make them more able. That'll make them more able to mine more Guthriel.
Well, after our raid is successful, we will have to put your formula into practice. Tell us, what do we have to do?
Have them see me, and I can make them more powerful.
He brings in a decrepit gnoll. He's been underperforming. You got a real challenge here. I might just be fine with that. Yeah. I'll be fine with that because you have some D20s. You're really struggling. You have 2 strikes. If you're satisfied with that, I'll leave it here.
satisfied with it.
So there'll be less treasure in the but the thing unlocks. Kakunk.
Will the gnoll let me near him?
The gnoll's battered and bruised. Yeah, and his fingers are worked to the bones and.
I whispered to him, hopefully out of here in range of Mr. Captain. Will you trust me just this one?
You're not them. Anything. Just allow me to join my pack again.
Follow me. Follow my instructions. So, I turned to the gnoll. I said, may your suffering cease, and may your strength be restored. Oh, this is 10 minutes.
The healing circle?
Yes.
Yeah, that is a longer thing. Would you like to pursue that healing circle while Torgak does searches another room or does whatever he wants to do? You don't know this, but he's neutralized his threat over here. You can bounce back over here if you want to do that for 10 minutes.
I will.
The undead are very patient.
Before that, I will talk to Mr. Captain. Mr. Captain, it may be more efficient if you give me more people to work with. I can heal him, for a little bit, but if you give me more people, I can heal them all at once, and you can have an entire unit of more fit and more able workers.
Roll a charisma check. If you can get a 15 or higher, I'll say a 13 or higher. No, I'm going with 15, going my gut. If you can roll a 15 or higher, what you got for charisma there? Ooh, nice 9.
-1.
Okay, so because Captain Skecrek is on the edge here, healing his gnoll's workers sounds good, but I don't know.
12. If it's more bang for the buck, I'm gonna be here 10 minutes. And I'm telling you.
Prove it to me first. I'm skeptical. We mine our Gruthiel. We want to spread our agony, and that strengthens this castle.
And
Healing these gnolls mean nothing. There's plenty of gnolls, and our assault will bring us more than we could imagine and end this for all.
But if we heal all of them, then you're going to be able to not only have the volume, but you will have also increased strength on top of that. And I am telling you that in the 10 minutes that we have here, I can do so much more than what you are giving me.
Just prove it, and then we'll do it again.
As you wish.
So you're doing that?
I am.
What's that look like?
He sits with Noel, and
You're in the lab.
He still sits with the Noel.
I know, just setting the scene.
On the ground, arm around him, and he starts quietly chanting while tapping the Gnoll on his back. Not forcefully, but just rhythmically, repeatedly. Be healed, your pain be taken away. Be healed, your pain be taken away. Be healed,
And
your
that goes
pain
throughout
be
the
taken
lab while we go over here to what Torgak is finishing up with, his dismayed but still accomplished. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, Torgak is gonna...
Blue gem lights up.
Yep.
You can, peeking out to the vault or whatever. If you're just...
Yeah, no, Torgak's gonna make a beeline to another room, let's say the sacrifice room.
Okay.
And going quickly, but still.
Yep. And you're managing to navigate around here very well as honored guests, but at the same time, they seem to be mobilizing for a different reason, as you've learned. So within this sacrifice room, you get chills. This has been a place where the most horrid thing has happened, and not only that, it has corrupted your fellow packmates. You've only heard about this place in legend and lore, and only whispers of those that have even dreamt about such places, because you know if anyone were to enter this place, they have never come out. But something about this room, you realize, has been perverted. This room brings an echo of sorts within your mind, deep within your ancestral memory. Something calls to you to perform a rite of cleansing here. What does Torgak do? Instinctually, habitually, through their memory recall in this room.
I mean, being called to perform the ritual, what does the ritual look like?
Yeah,
Is that basically? Okay, yeah.
Like what used to be performed here before it was corrupted? Give you an opportunity. Maybe you've learned about it in the library. You've uncovered some words and perhaps they will inspire you. What happened here?
This is a variation on something that Torgak is aware of, but has never actually witnessed. This is a older version of the Gruthiel ceremony that the pack leaders have undertaken in the warrens surrounding the sunken castle. But prior to the application of the Gruthiel, there is a certain procedure. There are other herbs, pastes, etc., that are rubbed into the fur on the face and shoulders, other substances in order to prepare the body for the acceptance of the painful paint.
It's like an emboldening process,
Yes.
but it has been perverted and twisted to turn them into undead soldiers when they reach their ultimate end here. Okay, so let's go for it. Let's see if you can reenact this old ritual. We'll start with charisma. You're gonna need a 9 or higher.
Okay. 17.
Describe it. What are you doing?
Torgak looks around, finds the little cloth satchels of the appropriate ingredients, starts using his claws to pick open the strings around the pouches, finds all the ingredients that are imbued within his ancestral memory, wipes his paws, and prepares for the application of the first ingredient.
Make an intelligence check now. You're gonna need 12 or higher.
That's not a good thing. Oh, well.
Which roll?
14.
Nice. 15 minus 1, huh?
Yeah.
It comes to your ancestral knowledge.
Oh.
This ingredient, this piece, mixed with this, not too much of that. Crush some of this, sprinkle it on, mix it around, 10 minutes, wait, and the time goes by and you have made the application. And now the administering of it. Where does it go?
In cleansing for the Gruthiel, starting with the face, around the snout, around the forehead, down the neck, and onto the shoulders. That is what is remembered.
Dexterity. You're gonna need a 14 or higher.
I mean,
19.
23.
Nice. So in this moment, you've completed this echo of sacrifice, this thing that has once been very close to the desert dogs and those around in the surrounding lands used to do here in an act of worship and sacrifice and communion with this Gruthiel that has emboldened them. And for that, I don't know which die you would like, but you're gonna get another D6 to replace one of these dice. Which die would you like to get rid of?
Oh, let's replace the D20.
Replace the D20? Okay. So go ahead. You're gonna stack this, and this happens to be, lucky you, a purple room.
Purple room.
So stack it next to a purple. As the ritual is complete. Careful for the other ones. Meanwhile, 10 minutes go by, and you yourself have completed your healing ritual. Go ahead.
4 points.
4 points of healing. So tell me about this. You're aiming to heal the gnoll. He's going big over here. You managed to unlock it.
Oh, you know what?
Watch it be the watch it push him over. Nice. Okay, so the purple gem lights up, and you feel there's one last purple gem that needs to be uncovered. You have healed the gnoll, and you feel his muscles, kind of swell, and some of his claws get sharper, and his skin heals around his worn, bony hands. Skecrek, get back to work. Before you're even finished the circle, he sends this.
Oh, wait a second, that doesn't work then. Because...
Well, you finish it mechanically,
Okay.
but it's one of those just as you've done it, it worked. Wow, great! Get me more Gruthiel the moon has reached its highest point. I don't know, is that leaking? Looks pretty leaky to me. It's tough to tell with this thing. One big experiment.
Fair enough. I will follow because I want to see this work.
He stops you.
Why is that?
This is what you're trying to do to my help.
I want to prove to you that his vitality has been restored.
This lab is to refine the Gruthiel, and you're amplifying his strength?
For you, and for those who will mine it, and who will benefit from
There's
it.
plenty out there. We'd want pure Gruthiel. I thought you were gonna put this person in agony.
I was gonna make him more useful to you.
You don't understand what's useful to me.
Him being able to mine more Gruthiel is not useful to you?
Shall we continue negotiations? And he, like, shows you the door.
Let us proceed then. What's the next place we're seeing?
Well, there's the observatory or the crystal room. And I want to see what you have in mind here.
I consider myself one with Earth. I would like to see those crystals. Please, Mr. Captain.
Right this way. And as you pass by, you can see that the gnoll is like getting ushered back into the deeper mine, you know, like the vein that transcends the main chamber.
Torgak is gonna kill me.
And he brings you into this room. It's a strange room. It's like a constructed room, but there's like sprouts of crystals that have been penetrating the mortar and the bricks and everything. So this room was used in it looks to be like a greenhouse of sorts, or like a botanist room, like they were doing plants, and all of that has been removed, and all of that has been overwrought and overgrown with these strange crystals that take on different shapes and sizes and colors, and they're of colors, like rich saturated colors within this room. And immediately when you walk in, you feel this sense of like a chime, like one of those you know, you clasp your fingers around the glass, the crystal glass, as if there's a resonant tone that is completely quiet, but you hear it. And you know, this room is a fascinating room that we tend to bring here. We tend to come here for just a visual pleasure of sorts. It used to do things far beyond our need, and we have let it overrun itself. But as you can see here, our castle holds many different rooms and many different provisions.
It is a very well-equipped facility. Now, you say you have no use for it?
Not for our army. Maybe if we used it better, we could give something other than meat to those that work for us. It looks like something used to grow here at some point, but these crystals have overrun it, and frankly, I'm fine with that.
I think I could find a use for it. And before he starts saying anything else, he starts humming to the tune of the resonance.
You can see there's like the crystals, like they vibrate as you reach the proper tone for this specific cluster. And they almost like gellify, like they start turning into like a viscous liquid, and from underneath it, the plants they start to liven or gain some sense of life.
I continue to hum.
And Skecrek is like, are you doing something? It seems like it's not registering, like the noise, the frequency level is just not even he's not taking it in. He's not receptive to it. Is this fascinating to you? I mean, it's visual splendor, that's for sure.
The power of Geed is fascinating to me. And I think you may see that it fascinates you in time. I'm going to continue for as long as I'll be permitted and to see how many of these crystals I can melt.
Yeah, sure. And, he sees what you're doing, and he's like, is this going to help our negotiations at all? Because
You are welcoming.
You're the last one. You're the only lead negotiator, by the way. Your other compatriot gave up, and he's working for us now, apparently.
Well, that saddens me because he has a lot to bring to the table. I'll tell you what, I will find what this room should have truly been used for if you will bring my friend back.
He's probably halfway to the mines now, but if you want, I'll send out another squad to bring him back.
Yes. Get him back. And bring back that fellow that I healed.
I don't know about that. And then he heads out and leads you to your own devices.
I can see him too.
You start reaching the pitch, and it's almost you happen to have it like reaching certain tones that react to certain clusters, and like the resulting frequencies are like common chords in some of the most used Geed hymns. It's like they're resonant to like something that's integral to your specific worship, and as they liquefy, the plants like liven and grow. And in this Balsal desert, for the time you've been here, the months you've been here, this is truly remarkable. A truly remarkable room, like a room out of time. This doesn't look like any biome that you've seen here, and to have these crystals transform these plants is truly marvelous.
You'd speak to me through what you have provision. I am your faithful servant, and I will hear you.
What are some hymns that are common to Geed?
One of the hymns that he was taught by Praetori in the 214 field is my common prayer and plea. And it speaks of what's in the heart of every Gideon worshiper. To finally free folks of their difficulty and to be of sacrificial service to those.
You want to perform it? And I'll let you roll it. Let's see how well you can perform it with your roll.
Okay.
Not to put you on the spot to actually sing us a song. I know you're willing to.
If I had known I was going to be playing a Gideon shaman, I would have prepared something.
I'm going to need 12 or higher.
14.
Nice. Okay, great. So you're singing very precisely. We're going to let's go. Do it 2 more times.
2 more times.
Make this,
And this is getting checked against anything or just the raw?
No, this is, the first one was charisma. If I didn't say that, it should
13.
have been.
Then
Okay, wow, okay. Now you're gonna need a 13 heart.
6.
Okay. So you failed that one.
And 3.
And okay, you failed that one as well too. So instead of getting a D6, you're gonna get another D10. But which die would you like to replace? Did you have 2 failures?
Replace the D20.
Okay, go ahead. So you find this happens luckily to be another purple room. As you sing your tones, you unlock the crystals and find a tumbler encrusted with purple gems. Happens to be the last one you guys are in need of. Meanwhile, you can see that there's a little bit more activity for you. Where's that gnoll? This word, they search the library or like they go to find you in the mines and they don't find you and they come back to the library. You can see this sort of happening amongst your skullduggery.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Torgak is going to sniff around and try to rejoin.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Where does that go?
Go ahead, try again.
And what's the minimum stack?
3. We're at 4, but I let him go to 3 because he was really struggling with those D20s. Yeah, I think I might. If you you fail, the stack decreases like after you fail like twice. So what do you do, Torgak?
Oh, nuts.
So you need a stack of what now? 3?
I think so.
So Torgak is sniffing around trying to catch Mikana, son?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To identify which room to go to.
For what?
Oh, just to reconvene.
Oh,
So be
okay,
in the
yeah,
same
okay, yeah.
place.
So you happen to sniff the scent. So you're gonna actually need to do the stealth check here for this one.
Okay.
Will you be caught? And if you have any benefits to that, I don't know if you got anything.
I mean, outside of the +4, no.
Okay. So you're gonna need a 13 or higher.
All right. So 16 total.
Wow. Did you have it and you just kept going?
I kept going.
You little greedy fuck.
All right, you know what?
Okay, so you make it.
16.
Yeah, you make it to the crystal room there, and you can see Mikana working his best, fumbling around. And just as you walk in, you see the final pieces of the gem put into place. And there's a resonant tone in this one. And you can just see it turning in place. And you get the feeling the other ones are turning into place in unison as well, too. The vault has been opened. What would you guys like to do?
Is that the last one?
That is. We have access.
Let us go then.
Indeed, brother. Shall we pass into these secure doors and find for ourselves something that we may use to aid those who cannot aid themselves?
Yes, let's go. My people toil below.
They do indeed. But at least rest well that one of them has seen the light of heed.
Let us go. Make haste. Thank you for showing him this light.
Into the vault we go.
You make your way to the vault, and there's sort of this slowly arising tension as they're looking for Torgak. There's a disturbance in the air, too, as some of these gems, these locks are lighting up, and you get the distinct feeling that you're on to something that hasn't been uncovered for countless decades, centuries, millennia. Because within the vault itself, the big giant wall slowly slides open, unlocking all the bolts and tumblers, and within it is a hand, a claw, bones and skeletons with a bone sticking out. And Torgak, you get the immediate sense, and this goes back into far within your brain. It's the scent of Perivas's right-hand man. This ancient figure that has remained in captivity for all this time. And you can see it's like settling around. And you just get that immediate sense of this thing has the spark of life, has the spark of good amongst this castle. And it is working this strange piece of stone. It's like, and you've only heard about these rumors and your other compatriots, this generation element, and it's manipulating this thing that it looks to be the last piece missing from the power block, and it's like,
approach. Yeah.
Yep.
And as the vault opens up, you can see it's filled with a cache of treasure as well. But I do not know if there's going to be time for such matters, because just as you open the vaults, you're met with quite a number of people. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can do this. So within our vault, we'll go ahead and grab our figures. First, this is your failures, right? So we're gonna be met with at least 2 figures, but every time a 1 shows up on one of these, it's gonna add to your overall misfortune here, okay? I think I was gonna say that. There were 2 white dice. So I will do one of these, let's see. 1. Nice.
Wonderful.
That was a great roll for you guys. All your misfortunes are only met by 1 fallen enemy. So if we were to quickly set up a little scene here, then go ahead. Do some of this, some of that. And your goal, after having opened up some of these, is to escort. Here, you guys are gonna start over here.
Have a mini for my mount.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go.
Get on the other side and get the
Yeah, there should be a little stand for it. Just needs to be placed underneath it.
Well, it is, but it's not like center.
There we go.
Get to the other side. And with all of this, see that there's the unfortunate skeletons that you're dealing with. You can imagine that these are, this is sort of like the gate that you guys opened within the vault here, and there is a strange This is the hand here. So we're gonna have to do our best to get this guy to the other side. But what stands before you is a most fearsome creature. One of those glowing orbs seems to glow and emanate in front of you, recognizing as the eyeballs have seen you guys run across all of this complex area. These are walls we're trying to like get through here and get him to this portal on the other side. This is the final piece of the generation element that this hand, the right-hand man, if you will, of Perivas, literally has to finish off this power brick that seems to have been out of commission. For what purpose you feel could re-energize and reactivate the castle. And you feel this is a strong ally of sorts, but at the same time you have mixed feelings if this is something you actually want to complete. Is it going to help or hurt? But being the right hand of Perivas, you, Torgak, certainly feel like it would be a benefit to do. And luckily, there's only, there's 2 skeletons and a zombie.
Torgak, my friend. Don't you suppose that we should show these beings some Arventon hospitality?
I'll show them my steel.
That was precisely what I was referring to.
All right, let's roll initiative. Let's get down to business, brass tacks here. So obviously it's get to the other side. More or less, we're gonna use this index card to represent near movers. We're gonna do the short sides, give or take. So we're just keep it somewhat consistent throughout. Okay.
6.
13.
Okay, and the monsters are gonna go 8. Okay, so you're first, and we'll go counterclockwise since it's an odd number.
Okay, sounds good.
You can see the gate opens up, and there's the skeletons and zombies lumbering towards this vault, and they stand back, and it's sort of like, what? Like this thing opens? Like it's been here this whole time, and they haven't done anything to do. They haven't even paid any attention to it. And the right hand is scuttling about, carrying this small little piece, the small little sliver of a generation element in the form of the missing piece of the power brick.
So they're carrying.
No, the right hand.
It's a hand skirt. Okay.
And this is the size of a regular hand?
Yeah, it's like a clawed hand. It looks like a gnoll claw.
Fantastic.
All right. So I will skip my move, but I will.
Can't wait to see what's going on.
But I will cast Shell of the Turtle
Okay,
on my compatriot.
go for it. So you're summoning your shamanistic powers. You're gonna get +6 to this roll. This dude's a beast spellcaster, and I think the DC is
DC 10.
great. So you need a 4 or higher. Nail it with a 9. Great. So what happens? Tell us about this. The Shell of Geed.
The Shell of Geed, our protective prayers, the sacrifices of our brothers that have come before us have now fallen on you. We lay our hands jointly upon your being, and you feel the warm embrace of Geed power.
And what's it do?
So it grants my friend over there. Let's see, a +1 bonus to their AC for as long as you are near them.
As long as you are near them.
Yes. And you said near will be that card.
Yeah.
All right, my turn's done.
Warm embrace of Geed. Okay, so now these creatures are gonna go, and you can see straight ahead that these skeletons don't want anything to do with you guys. And luckily, they are somewhat away, so one's gonna try to shoot a bow at the hyena there. It's gonna get a 9, which I doubt is gonna hit. And the zombie is gonna flip the tables to create more of a barrier. Same with the skeleton too. They actively make barriers. And meanwhile, this thing is floating ball. And it's spectral. It's floating in and out. And that's all you can see. It's cold. It's a glowing ball of cold. It just has an undead visage in its face, and it's just waiting.
All right. Torgak snarls, turns and looks down at the claw, grabs it and puts it in his mouth,
Nice.
and will then move near,
Okay.
forward.
So something like this. Boop. Give or take. Boop.
Would he still be in range of my?
It's of you?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
No. All right. Turn.
He's ready for battle.
I assume the claws.
Yeah.
And then Hyena is going to walk right behind us
You can double?
Its normal move is actually double.
Okay, so it
Fine.
could go one more time as a move.
Well, you know what? Yeah, and let's... Does that put me in
Yeah,
range
yeah.
to attack the
Yeah,
skelly?
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Just whoop, whoop, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that then.
And that's a normal move, so the hyena.
Normal move, so there's an attack. That's not gonna do it though. It's a 9 total.
Against the skeleton, you know, he can't. Bites up against the chainmail and doesn't break it.
Alright, well.
All right,
That's gonna conclude it for
Mikana.
Torgak.
you're back up. You see that this, you know, this gnoll has the right hand of Perivas in his maw.
All right, sounds good. So I will maintain my chant, and I will use that to double move so I can be in.
So you're gonna have to roll. You have to roll
To
every
focus
time, yeah,
my-
every time. To hold on to it. Nat one. Luck token. If you choose to accept that roll. It's also the Oris.
There is not an Oris. I don't know what you're talking about.
Just to set the scene, the Oris has been used, and there's one spot left on this tier, and Mark seems to always be in the position to go crazy with the Oris, with his characters, to push it over the edge. Hope for the future.
We think back to Torgak and how deep a pit of despair he was in when he was part of those beastmen, and what kind of hope the 214 brought him, and them having used their beliefs to free him, and him wanting to bring that so that no other being will have to suffer like that again. He still doesn't quite get it, but he is determined to make sure that people like those gnolls, to see them free, to see them relieved of their despair, of what ails them because of this evil, because of this suffering that these people have put on them. He is hopeful that he will see a day where Torgak and his compatriots are fully and without reservation free.
Roll it. Let's see if the hope for the future comes through.
It
7.
does. All right.
The Song of the Turtle.
Song of the Turtle. And I imagine that means I can only still move one move then, because that that focuses my.
You could, yeah, right.
Okay.
You have to maintain the chant as an action, specifically for the shaman.
Understood. So let's go ahead.
And they'll be in range, yeah. This is also just a loose sort of thing, too. You don't have to use the card every time.
Fair enough. And that'll end my turn.
You feel a sense of vigor surround you guys as these skeletons try their best. So, I mean, you know, I don't want to do that every time. Bro, these things are gonna go after you, and this skeleton's ignoring your thing and going right after. Right after you. Okay, so zombie against the hyena. It's gonna get nat 20 crit, baby. Crush for 4 damage.
Oh, gosh.
And the skeleton's gonna do his best to try to attack you. Sword, 13 plus 1, 14.
AC is 14, but
Nice.
we've got the +1 from the chance.
The chant just saved his life. As it seems to just like it radiates off of this tortoise shell that emanates in front of our gnoll character. Perhaps he'll think about Geed in the future. And this guy behind, the skeleton behind the table is going to use his bow to try to attack Torgak. 19, very close.
Ooh.
And it's going to be D4 damage, which is 1 damage. thing spectrally passes through the table. You see it like leaving a trail of chill and cold, freezing the wood behind it.
Go no further. We have been looking for something like that.
Pointing at the generation element.
Who knew us right beneath our nose? Captain Skecrek would want to know of that. Shall I bring him here and you can negotiate with your lives?
Seems to be one of his lieutenants here. You gonna answer him? Why not? It's up to you.
Tell Captain Skecrek that he is not going to be having this today.
You will be dead before
The moon reaches its zenith, which I don't know if that thing might have already done it.
I can tell you it can. I feel it.
Whoa, there it is. It's at the most of the zenith point. Okay. Nice. All right, you're up. Mikana.
All right. Let's see.
Mikana?
Oh,
Mikana.
well,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah,
was looking
yeah.
at you counterclockwise. Yeah, okay, so.
Sorry.
So he's doing clockwise. Torgak.
all good.
Thank you. All right. So these guys have the table pinned down.
Yeah, I mean, Torgak howls and attacks this guy with scimitar.
Let's do it.
Ooh, we are going
What'd
to
you get? A 2.
2, so 7 total.
Do you accept that roll?
Oh, no, I do not. Torgak.
Tell us about Torgak's childhood.
Flashes, images. A new, pitiful. Being raised, running free. Chains. Whips. Being escorted up the sandy slope. And then down again to the sunken castle. Filled with rage, he focuses and channels that.
Let's see if you can channel his childhood traumas. 17.
Yep, so yeah.
Hits it.
24
All
total.
right, roll for damage.
It's gonna be 5 total.
5 damage. This thing's hurting pretty good.
Yep, Hyena's gonna turn and attack the Skelly.
Okay.
That's gonna be a 15.
Hits. Roll for damage. The hyena bites his teeth into it. Starts pulling out the leg.
That's gonna be 1.
One damage. This thing's trying to get this crazy dog off of it. All right, Mikana, now you're up. Clockwise, go crazy.
All right. So Mikana's going to sidestep Torgak and move right into the center of the fray. And he's going to break concentration on Shell of the Turtle and cast Hiss of the Viper.
Okay. The armor fades. What's Hiss of the Viper do?
Hiss of the Viper causes everyone in a near radius centered on you to make a DC non-morale check at the beginning of the turn.
Okay, sure. I'll grant this to you because as undead, they are immune to morale checks. They will not be shaken by your Hiss of the Viper. So
Didn't realize that.
yeah, you recall back to your Guide training, and you have warned of the perils of the undead, and they are in fact so stalwart that they will not be shaken to their bones whatsoever. So I wouldn't want you to blow that,
Okay, I appreciate that.
but I'll hold you to the move.
I understand.
Yeah, I made that call. I'll stand by it.
I think. Alright, so Orby over there is approaching.
Yep. He's like a spectral form now. Like changes into an orb. Changes back to this floating, cloaked figure.
I pray Gabe has given me the wisdom to cast the right spell. I'll be casting the Gift of Earth. So you are frozen in position, but you get +2 AC.
Is it to everyone or a specific person?
That will be to everyone in the near radius centered around you. So I would consider your hyena, myself, and you to be in your radius. Wouldn't that be
But you
wrong?
can't move.
Can't move, but you'll still get that extra protection.
Okay.
I can't imagine I'm allowed to describe. I mean,
Go for it. Yeah, tell me what's going on.
All right. So, goddess who does provide, it provides from the most natural of places because the hands of Geed reach even into the most desolate of places. So from the earth is one of the core places that we can find her sustenance. And it wraps us and envelops us and swaddles us.
Roll it. You need like stupid low number.
That's 17. That's an easy.
Yeah, you got plus. This is crazy. Wow, great. All right, so the hands of the earth protect you. And let's see if it's gonna pay off, because these skeletons are trying their best to hack through our gnoll, Torgak. 9, nothing. And you can see that the earth and spells around you protect you. Let's see if the zombie's gonna try to pound the hyena. 10. 11, yep. What's the AC?
The AC is 11, so 13.
Yeah, your spells are saving these people left and right. All right, let's see. Short bow back here, gonna fire at Torgak. 14.
Nope, 16 is required.
So, the skeletons, these undead are like, what? This is an insertion here. This final figure, though, floats towards our poor Mikana, who's chanting a spell, and with a sword that just is wreathed in this gruthiel, slices down at you, +3, 8, 4, 11. Probably not gonna hit you.
No, it won't.
Because of the spell?
Correct.
You are a lucky fool. And you can see that the gruthiel like just spills over the hands of this earth protecting you, and it's just held back at bay. And you can see that they're like a liquid sort of oily type of skin.
Captain Skidmark won't be taking me today.
All right.
Oh, attacking Skelly.
Okay.
That's going to be a 18 to hit.
You hit it. This thing's probably.
It's going to be 6 points of damage.
And with a final blow, describe what happens.
There's a horizontal slash with the scimitar. The skeleton actually parries that with its weapon. However, Torgak lunges forward and just kind of plows into the skeleton, which crumbles into a pile of bones.
Freeing up the way. Okay.
So that's Torgak, and then the hyena will attack the zombie.
Okay.
That's going to be a 17 total.
Roll for damage.
4 points of damage.
You know, the zombies getting mangled and pulled apart. Anything else? I guess you guys are stuck here with your spell. They can't choose to disregard that spell if they wanted.
Not according to the spellbook.
Yeah, so we're rooted down right now.
Rooted down.
Making a stand, so here we are.
Okay, you're up. This battle seems to be in your favor so far. These guys are trying their best.
Okay. I think. Well, so I assume that the hit does not break my concentration. I'd have to just re-roll for that.
Yeah. I think you have to roll focus if you take damage. Yeah.
Oh, is that? Let's see if
It might be in the cover. Go for it. Why? What are you gonna do? Well, he didn't hit you anyway. The spectral force, yeah.
right.
But you have to roll focus on if you're gonna choose to keep it anyway.
It says distraction. You have to do a spell check. So you need to
Okay.
A distraction.
I don't know if that's
Right.
specifically defined. So let's see.
Let's go. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna drop a gift of the earth and go back to Shell of the Turtle.
Okay.
That'll do it. 12 overall.
To keep it.
To-
I'll go back to Shell of the Turtle.
Yep. So you are now mobile again, but you only have one plus one AC. You feel the hands of Dean again.
Lift up and allow you to move. Okay, this thing's gonna, this last little floating spirit in front of these tables here are gonna try his best with his Gruthiel sword to carve into you. +3 here. 8 + 3 again, 11. And this one works this time.
This does not, because my AC is 10 and there's a +1 on me.
Yeah, I got 8 + 3.
Oh, Challenger, right. I forgot.
Yeah, so I meet or beat it. So you feel this Gruthiel sword carve into you. Oh, here it comes. Nice solid D10 of damage. 6 damage.
Well, isn't that a
Cut down. You also are gonna take the Gruthiel pain burning into 3 points of constitution damage.
Oh.
Not gonna affect anything other than if you constitution goes to 0, you die, but it's a little bit more pressing matters right now for you.
Understood. Alright, I'm done.
You falling down to the ground?
No, I'm not. I have 1 hit point
You have
remaining.
1 hit point. Okay, so you feel the sword slice into you and a burning agony like you've never felt before. And this thing, yeah, floating.
Am I able to retreat?
Not on your turn. You could if you wanted to.
All right.
Let's see. The skeleton's gonna try to attack the hyena. 14 + 0.
that'll do it, yep.
14 hits
Yep.
for 1 damage.
Okay.
Little short bows. All right, what are you gonna do? Torgak.
Okay. Let's see.
You gotta push through this thing. Starting to wonder,
Torgak.
are these just distractions?
Yeah, I know. Torgak's gonna attack with me here.
Okay. Go for it.
So I don't believe I'm making it. Well, would you say that this
Can't you ride that thing?
spectral? Would you say the
Steal your
spectral thing is in near range to Torgak?
Sure, yeah.
All right, we'll go actually attack it.
Okay.
Ooh, that is going to be a 16,
16 hits.
and that's a charge because I moved.
Okay. Is this silver or magic?
Oh. So it's going to be 6 points of regular damage. That's right. All right.
A nasty feeling befalls you as this floating specter seems above and beyond life itself,
Yeah.
immune to your attacks.
Okay.
Now you know why I am Captain Skecrek's lieutenant. And I smell flesh, blood. Give me the generation element, and I will let you breathe another breath.
Torgak's keeping this.
Captain Skecrek was willing to negotiate this castle for your allegiance. You didn't even entertain the thought.
No, you can tell Captain Skecrek that we got more important things to handle, like the freeing of his subservience.
Alright.
Eat it.
You have your hyena left? Is that it?
Yeah, hyena's coming over here.
Okay. Is he gonna attack?
No.
All right. Mikana. Things are getting tense as the pressures mount with this lieutenant.
Retreat. I pull out my longbow. Short bow.
Okay.
My short bow. And I fire at our friend over here.
The zombie, okay.
19.
Hits, roll for damage.
One.
He takes it, still shambling.
Very well. Oh, I've broken concentration. Well,
So, yeah, your focus, I guess, dissipates on that shell of the turtle, right?
yeah, that's right.
Pressures are mounting, spells are fading. These enemies seeming like you had the upper hand until this lieutenant showed us its ugly maw. What's it gonna do? It's giving you one last chance to hand over this generation element with its Gruthiel sword held high. He's gonna strike you down to his best of his ability. +3 here, nat 1. Crit fail. Let's see, does something bad happen here? The good old Oracle died. Nat 20!
Beautiful.
It absolutely does.
Something bad happens here, absolutely. So,
Can we get a yes and?
yeah, go ahead. Give me, you roll a d10 and you roll a d100, just the 10s. And we'll get a prompt. What happens to the lieutenant in this moment? 38. Do it again. Pull with your powers combined. Pull prosperity. Something bad happens, and the prompt is pull prosperity. What's going on to this lieutenant? Something from his essence is being pulled apart by you guys. The vigor in Torgak's eyes. The standing power of the Geed spells, the ancient rituals that haven't been rung in these halls for countless generations, wring him to the core. How about this? He will be stunned for D4 rounds. 1 round, he's completely stunned. So this is happening, he's gonna go around, and then from that turn, he'll be stunned. So
Okay.
he loses his next turn, we'll say. As he's rocked to his core. Something about you guys. But the skeleton's gonna try his best to shoot at Torgak. 12 plus 0. The zombie shambles forward, try to attack the hyena. 4 misses. These folks are caught off guard with their lieutenant. That was a good swing. And that one, that's funny. It was unbelievable. Okay, so Torgak, you see this lieutenant with his Gruthiel sword. Something about it.
Fly.
As a free action. Mounting the hyena.
You jump and it runs underneath you.
Now, the hyena's move is double in the air.
Absolutely.
I presume that's going to run us into the table. I don't know what the current is.
Yeah. I'm imagining some sort of up and over.
Yeah, is that going to
That's
be an
one.
action?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, so let's go up and over.
Okay, we're gonna need a dex check. Hyena starts running with Torgak on his back. You're gonna need 15 or higher.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's a 17.
17. You mount up on the table. Leap over the skeleton. Its little eyes sunken in its head.
for there.
Little
And
pupils of
course,
light.
This is still in my mouth.
And like you're like over here, yeah. And the little thing out of his maw, it's like, whoa, like holding this generation element. You make it to the other side.
That was the move and the act. Well,
Epic.
You show Captain
Technically.
Skecrek.
you know what? I am gonna stay put for now. Well, yes, I'm staying put for now.
Do you still have an action left?
That's a good point. I guess I do still have an action left because that was the mount's action.
You want to
delete,
smash
right?
this
Yeah,
skull on the way by? You jump over the skeleton?
That is not going to do it, though.
Then you whiff as you jump over the skeleton. It's all right, you're doing the best, okay? Mikana. You see Torgak. The ball in hand, pigskin in hand, he's past the 50-yard line. He's running into the end zone here.
Oh gosh.
What are you gonna do?
What can I do?
Run after him. Jump over the tables. Push him down.
Yeah.
Anything your little heart desires.
We've got around to this guy being stunned.
And you know this thing is probably immune to your attacks unless you have magical attacks or silver attacks. And this stun is a huge benefit right now because this thing can cut you down. The zombie's about halfway through his life. You probably need to deal at least 6 damage to take it down.
Torgak, the honor is yours. Succeed for me. That was wrong.
You gonna go into the vault?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Are you gonna search?
Yes.
You guys got a lot of good stuff here. I'll give you one of these, just 'cause see what you can come up with. Okay, so this thing's stunned and this shambling zombie is just shambling towards the vault. This thing turns around and tries to use his short sword against Torgak 19.
That does it.
And he's gonna strike you. Oh my god, this is gonna be brutal. 6 damage. Wow, brutal. What a swing. That hurts. That hurts.
About it for the undead?
That's it for these guys. You see the lieutenant come to grips again, taking an assessment of the situation. Stop! Stop! The captain wants to negotiate. You don't know what you're doing.
Torgak lets out a howl. So hyena will double move.
Yep. See you there.
I guess Torgak is gonna unlock his jaws and let the hand pop out and do its thing.
It claws its way up the side of the wall, delivering the last of the generation element into the broken, missing piece, the very hole that people have come in and escaped through before he makes it to the top. Any idea with your newfound treasure?
Oh yeah. I'm taking that smoke loop's throat, and I am. This is an opening. Would it cover this opening?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it between the wall and the gate.
And what are you trying to do with it?
I'm trying to use it to entrap anybody who thinks about trying to come back my way.
Okay, yeah, so you have this magic smoke weaver's thread. So you've successfully delivered the element to the final piece of the castle. And with this, we'll play one of these songs. Help me clear this board. Because the element fits into the final piece of the castle, filling the brick with a strong energy, sending it down the golden veins that wreath the walls of the castle itself. Hold on to that for a second. So you can see right here, these pieces wreathed around the building itself, filling the whole room and the floors beneath with just the light that emanates. And suddenly, there's a giant lurch. The ground shakes beneath your feet. The walls tremble, and you can feel yourself like falling to the ground as the building lurches upwards as if being pushed by a tremendous force. The right hand has placed the generation element in, powering up the castle to a former state of glory. You recognize the right hand of Peribas as serving your needs, serving your efforts to grant you a connection to this castle. For you can see the undead army starts to lurch. Each of the spectral forces and zombies that is trying to make their way into the vault tumble to the ground, and you hear a booming sort of voice as Captain Skecrek, I will have my vengeance, and the castle itself starts rising up. What are you guys thinking about? What are your thoughts?
Well, Torgak, feeling the power and connection to Peribas, wonders if there is some way to restore this ancient packmate to glory, the same way that this castle seems to be rising from its descended depths. And so, with your permission, he'd like to snatch that hand back up in his jaws now that it's completed its task.
What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Take the back of my hand and I wipe it against my forehead. And all I can think about is the number of lives that will be permanently bettered from this place no longer having contact with the ground from which they mine this cursed mineral. Torgak, your brothers be free.
You had quite the hand, literally, in the activation of all this. And Geed seems to have a presence within the halls of this castle. And from the outside, we can see a sunken castle. Rises another level. Revealing yet another layer to the exposed earth and the basalt deserts. And this very level has within it more of the depths that lead deeper and deeper into the very crevice that is mining the Gruthiel. And you can see from within a purple sort of, geometric shape wrapped in rope, vines or cables or metallic piping, holding this thing on a floating mountain. And you can feel that the castle is activated, and you all feel within you, with the final piece put into place, a voice. Peribas himself calls to those that have been working to free this castle. And deep within, a vehicle emerges from the dirt itself, shifting away the sand. And just as the moon reaches its zenith, you can see in the dark distance Captain Skecrek's eyes glowing an unholy red. There down next to Peribas in his prison. And
he calls up, to those that defy me and choose to take this castle from my hands, I implore you, bring me your best, bring me your worst. I defy all of you. Naraya gives me strength, and I call and claim to you. And you can see outside that there's like soldiers that line the tops of the castle itself, ready to assault deeper when an arrow takes out one of the soldiers in the top. It's Kalazan and all the other gnolls that have come to the rescue. One of the first prongs of the assault on the castle. But that, my friends, is a fable for another table. And so for that, we will end our story here tonight as the final assault on the sunken castle will unfold from a multi-pronged effort. You can see as the moon is at its highest, you've all managed to position yourself in somewhat of a strategic location to assault the depths of the sunken castle where Perivas is held deep within it. And amongst that, you have a trove of quite the treasures. And I think you guys had, let's see, we're gonna do one of these. We're gonna do one of these. We're gonna do another one of those, a couple of these. These. We're gonna do one of these.
You have quite a treasure there in that vault.
Just to show what you guys have found within the treasures of the vault.
Ooh. Ooh.
Which is quite
Ooh.
one of these.
Hmm.
We can pour over our treasures at another time because now we're gonna vie for other treasures. Experience points. And so, what is the case that you guys have besides all of this treasure? What was the most valuable thing that you gained tonight?
You know, in the true spirit of the 214th, the 214th wants to nominate Torgak for his spirited defense of his people, for the way that his people's history and their sense of courage and duty and fighting spirit permeated him and have led to the freeing of their kind, have led to, from his position of bodily weakness into this great, glorious restoration of his people to where they ought to be. That would be the 214's recommendation, so say we will.
Torgak nominates Mikana for selfless sacrifice in the name of the pack. And for the assistance to our people. The healing of that gnoll brings not only physical strength, but the strength to fight. And that is what we desperately need. And perhaps a little Geed in our lives.
Truly a trove of treasures and merriment and such great justification. This was a tough negotiations. But man, did you guys come out on top. I will grant you all 15 experience points.
What?
For the trove, the treasure, the discovery of history and culture, the cracked nature of against the tumblers, and to set the pieces in motion as the final prong. Have you set in motion the very thing that we will explore at our next table, the culmination of the sunken castle? And I can't wait to see how it unfolds as I guess Naraya is at its highest point now, bringing the strength to Captain Skecrek and his undead army, but the gnolls lie at wait on the perimeters, ready to attack their oppressors that have kept them under their undead thumb for far too long. But for the various valiant efforts of the smallest little characters in the right places, things seem to be going your way, but they haven't been easy, so I can't wait to see if you guys take over the castle, free Perivas, and claim the sunken castle for perhaps an extension of Arventa, the desert dogs who have risen up from the dust of the deserts themselves. But that's a fable for another table. Thanks for watching this chapter of our ongoing fable. Drop a like if you enjoyed the episode, and let us know in the comments which stories interest you most. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and to stay connected, there are links to our Discord and socials in the description. We want to invite you to the next episode of Tables and Fables, and we'll be sure to save you a seat.